Yes, guys, welcome back. Natural Selection Podcast, episode 16, I believe. We've had a couple of nightmares where we've recorded and they haven't made it out for multiple reasons. I think it's just me and Patrick today, and Patrick was at the Two Bros Natural show, which I wasn't, so I don't have a clue about anything, but Patrick is gonna fill us in a little bit. I will load up the Two Bros Instagram and we'll go through. Um, we haven't even spoke about this. Patrick, fill me in. You said, what do you think? Standard, good? Any standouts?
So,
Talk me through it.
first of all, hello everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been to quite a few Two Bros events four the past 4 years, and that was probably hands down one of the most improved lineups I've seen in terms of overalls. Like the classes were not like busy, but they're never busy for Two Bros. First of all, it's like really really expensive to do, so I can imagine why people avoid it just for
What,
that
Two Bros
reason.
in general?
Yeah, I think the registration
Yeah,
was like £167 per class or something like that.
yeah. I remember when my client Roger a few years ago did it, and it was one of the most expensive that
Yeah.
that I've ever come across. So yeah, sorry, carry on.
Also, you guys, if you see a naked man walking behind me, that's Connor.
Can you give us a quick?
These
Can
two
you give
hot
us
to put
a
clothes
front
on.
double bicep quick?
Connor, we need a front door bicep from you, mate. He said, hell no. He's just gone to his room now. So yeah, it's very, the thing is, I feel like it's one of those federations where, like, no matter what we say, that won't change. But I feel like if they were to make the prices more reasonable, they will pull in a lot of natural athletes because it's a very prestigious federation. It leads to the IFBB route. So if they can do that, then they will pull in a lot of athletes. But again, they wouldn't. They wouldn't, which is such a shame. Such a shame. Because it's a pretty cool show. It was really well run. Overall standards was very, very good. Like pretty much like every single guy in the overall had the potential of taking it. It was just down to what the judges preferred on each day. It started off with that bodybuilding, and then obviously classic division, and then it was the men's physique. And I believe for the bodybuilding was taken by one of AJ's clients.
All right.
But it was last minute decision where he could just go moved into center. So it was very like that's how tight it was. Like they were just they couldn't decide. I was comparing them, and then they got moved into center literally the last minute for the last round.
How busy were these shows? Because I know in past previous shows when I've been to Bros Natural ones, and I think they're getting a bit more popular, but they haven't been the busiest class. Like you're
Yeah,
lucky to have more than a handful in a class, and most of
yeah.
them are like a couple with that.
I
What was
think
the
like
that like?
I think overall, right? I think the most busiest division was the men's physique classes, and then prior to that would be was classic and then bodybuilding. Usually, when I've been to two pro shows, it's always been like the bodybuilding class has been busy. But I think since last year, I've noticed a trend like it's the classic classes that are like filling up a lot more. I guess it's easier
All
for
right.
people to weight and kind of easier to fit in that classes in for natural athletes. So you tend to have like a little less in the bodybuilding divisions and then more so in the classic division. But saying that though, this was the first time I've been to two broad shows where there was no class A athlete, which is like anyone that's 5'7" and under. There was not a single person in that division. Everyone was pretty much like class B, class C plus.
So even when people don't turn up, do they not just put? They don't, do they? They don't like mix groups because you know, like other
No, they
federations,
don't.
there's not enough tall
Yeah,
and short. They just do one class, won't they? They don't
yeah,
do that, do
yeah.
they?
They don't mix groups at all. They just basically just what you sign up for is what division you've been competing in. Um,
Yeah.
I guess that's they just kind of go by their rules so in that aspect. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, overall it's a very, very good show. Very, very good show. Um,
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to
it was
come
also
on to
combined
so
with their sister show, so they're like if you see a
yeah.
red
So
background, that's all their sister guys. And that
he's
was
the natty winner, isn't
yeah, he's a natty overall winner, bro, right there. The big
he?
diesel, mate. That he looks so like phenomenal in person. Like
Really,
very, very impressive
he looks
physique.
crazy, mate.
Yeah. Um, size and then
So What is this? This is the bodybuilding.
So
Was
this is a
this
bodybuilding
first
overall.
finish
As you can
over?
see,
Right.
there were five in the overall, and like I said, this is like probably the first time I've seen the overall lines that have like filled up every high class. Do you know what I mean? It was very nice to see the guy in blue, in the tall guy in blue over
Yep.
there.
Oh,
He ended up taking the overall, and it was literally last minute decision.
this guy.
Um, yes, yeah,
Wow. Okay. He's got a crazy physique, man. That is
yeah.
awesome. That's a
Some
lot
very
of
very
muscle
good
through the upper body,
low
isn't it?
muscle. Yeah, definitely. I believe he's coached by AJ. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Yeah, he's AJ Morris. Yeah. Yeah, he looked for, I don't think he was even expected to win, to take a class because he said it was his first show of the season. So it was meant to be like just like get his toes wet and kind of get moving on for the rest of the season. But again, very, very different, phenomenal display on the day. And you
Mate,
could tell,
just got a lot of muscle in he, and you know what's crazy is like, even though he's got a lot of muscle, you can see he's got potential to add so much more. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you
there's
see what I
room
mean? That's the
definitely.
crazy thing about it. So,
There's so much room to improve, but it was a very, very well presented physique. And
yeah, mate, lovely physique.
he seems like a very, very humble guy as well. So kudos to
Yeah, he's
him.
got hell of potential. So shout
Yeah,
out to him. Great
yeah.
work from him.
I'm not sure if it's his first time competing or if he's been on before, but yeah, I think he's gonna have a very bright future.
So that was the bodybuilding. Obviously, that's a
That's the
side shot
bodybuilding,
from
yeah,
all that.
yeah. So the
Crazy
guy
looking
in the
fight.
middle was pretty much kept sent out for the entire
Yeah,
time until the
yeah.
last minute, and he got moved out. Who
All right,
I think he just got with it because they kept on making him do rounds and rounds. I think his fitness wise was in there, so I think he
right.
started like fading towards the end. But as soon as the show finished, his coach reached out to me, and then we started working on Monday to kind of get his fitness up for
Oh,
posing. So
really?
hopefully,
Oh, that's
yeah,
wicked, man.
hopefully we can get him in shape for the next one. I think he's doing that pro qualifying a week and a half time.
So
This was
this,
one of AJ's clients, I believe, Cameron Bulmer from Ireland. Very, very beautiful lines. Very, very beautiful physique. He took the classic overall.
let's have a little look.
He's a fellow podcaster as well, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, is he? All
Hmm
right, cool.
They do the Irish podcast, him and Matt.
You know what? He's again. He's like very well muscled,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't he? Like he's a big dude. Like he's
Bro,
got
his glutes were in. Like his glutes
yeah.
look like I
You
think
can
that's
see how
what
he's peeled. He looks
yeah,
big, man. Like through the
yeah.
limbs, like the legs and arms both look pretty impressive. Yeah, got
Yeah, it
some
was
crazy
very, very impressive
proportions.
look.
It looks very lean through the midsection.
Yeah.
Quality work. Very good.
Yeah, and
Is
that
he
his class
is he
was
always doing classic? Is that all his usual
I
go-to
think
every
so. He
time?
did in that show. He did both bodybuilding and classic, but that was his first time
Okay.
doing classic, I believe.
Okay.
Um,
Because naturally, when I look at him, I would say like I think he looks like a more of a bodybuilder to my eye. But
yeah,
he's
yeah,
got like a nice physique where he could, cross over a little bit. But like to me,
yeah,
looking at this, that's like a lovely bodybuilding shape.
yeah, yeah. You can tell it's like bodybuilder through and through. But he
Yeah,
presented himself well in the classic lineup, so it was
yeah,
nice to see him take the win.
very good, man. Like I mean, that looks pretty classic to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
So wicked stuff, man. Very good, very good. So
Um,
was there any other guys in the kind of classic physique that were pushing him or?
yes. So I there were there were three. The guy that took the came second. To be fair, there's only two overall, but in his class there were seven in his class, I believe, for
Okay,
to win. And then he went against the tall guy. But the tall guy is very good in terms of classical lines, but his presentation as a classic poser is not just there yet.
okay.
So yeah, that was kind of a bit. I think that's what knocked him down a bit. If he could learn to present himself better, as a
So what
classic
you're
athlete,
saying
then
is DM at Krabby Patty.
yeah, he needs to DM me ASAP. I don't know if he's like, because I remember seeing him at the PCA show the week before, where
Yeah.
when I was with Roy, and when we came off stage, his coach came up to us and was like, "Oh, can we get a picture with Roy because he liked the way Roy had his side triceps and was very impressed by it." So they took a picture next to each other, but they weren't speaking very much English, so I'm assuming he's not Brit
Right.
like UK
Right.
based, or he's got speak very little English. But yeah, they took a picture together with Roy, which was very nice, like thing for them to do. And then I see him at the show, so I was like, pretty cool. Um,
That's nice. Men's
men's physique
physique.
guy was taken
So
by
we've got a few different
he-
classes here. I'll start with the first one that comes up.
right. So this year was junior men's physique, which was taken by the guy in the light blue shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Right.
second was Noah from
Hmm.
Natural Physique, coached by Finn. And then the guy in pink was in third place. No, honestly, I've I've obviously seen Noah about, and I've known about his coaching and stuff. He's a very, very good prep coach. But that was the first time I've seen him on stage, and I was genuinely blown away by his eye work and his presentation. It
Yeah.
was just flawlessly executed. Like
Really.
I have to give credit where it's due. But like his
Yeah.
coaches, posing coaches, I think he's coached by Kez and
Yeah.
Cam. I think it might be Cam Fitness
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
did his eye
Yeah.
work,
Yeah. Yeah.
but mate, it was beautiful, beautiful executed.
That's great.
You could not find a fault with it at all. So kudos to you, mate. Impressive work, man. I think it was also like 10 weeks ahead of his actual first show of the season. Um,
Okay.
so
So
for him
it's
to go
just
in
something.
and look like
Got
that,
loads more to come in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, he's gonna have a very
his shape is very, very nice. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm excited to see what he'll
Yeah,
bring in. If he's got some more lined up.
yeah. I believe he's doing the NPC shows in either Korea or Asia, one of the Asian countries. I'm not sure exactly which
Okay.
one. Yeah, so
Okay.
be good to see where that ends up for him. But honestly, all the
So
best to
just
him, mate.
three
He
in
did
that class.
pretty good.
Just three in that class, right?
Yeah, that's free in that class. Yeah.
So this is which one's this? This is classic.
So I believe this was the novice
That's three, not
division.
classic. Men's physique
Yeah,
novice.
yeah, novice. Yeah.
Really? That guy don't look like a
Which,
novice.
yeah, he obviously he did like two PCA last weekend for his first time, and he took overall the first
Right.
timers and took
So I
overall the
swear
notch.
I've seen him before. So
Yeah,
did he win?
yeah. So he won this class. However, he didn't realize that if you did novice, you couldn't be in overall.
Oh, really?
So anyone that's competing at two bros ever in the future, if you want to be an overall, you have to do an open class.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
quite an interesting thing, to be fair, because it will push the best into the open, wouldn't it, I suppose?
yes, yeah, yeah. So he registered for, I think he registered last minute and did like just a novice class. Didn't realize how much. And like I said, it's not cheap as well. So
Yeah, so he'd
we're
have to
not
do more
jumping
than
like
one
multiple
event.
classes. Yeah.
Right,
But he looked very good. The guy here, he took masters, and I believe he looked very sharp as well. And again, he was not in overall because masters not included in open in overall. So it's open is like just for
right.
basically overall is only for
Yeah.
open classes. If you're doing two bros for the first time, you know, if you're also doing two bros for the first time ever and you've never competed with them before, it doesn't matter how many times you competed, you are a first timer or a novice athlete. You can do
Right.
any of those. You can do a first timer, you can do a novice class, and you can do an open class. If you've got the money for all of that. But yeah, if you're just not
Yeah, no,
trying,
that makes sense.
yeah.
I see
So
this guy
that's
on
how I
the
feel
right.
about
I've seen him. I've seen him loads of times at two. Every time I've been to a two bro show, I swear he competes. I always see that guy. He
it.
must
Yeah.
go most years.
Mm.
Fair play to
He
him.
looked very good. He looked very, very good.
He
So
looks
well
peeled.
deserved win.
He looks peeled.
Yeah.
Cool. So this was the overall.
So this was overall, yes.
Right. Okay.
Um, I believe the Asian guy in blue from
Yep.
second from the left, he took the overall. And
Okay.
his
Right.
mate, bro, his shape is beautiful. His structure is
Yeah.
beautiful, man. His midsection was like Spot on,
Wow.
mate. Look at that.
Yeah, chiseled, man. They're like bricks, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I believe he's a doctor as well, so my
Did he
respect,
compete a
mate.
few years ago as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he coached by
So,
Reese?
um,
Not
oh, he's a
anymore. I
lawyer.
think.
Sorry, not a doctor, lawyer.
Right. I remember him doing the PCA show. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I think he was. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was being coached by Reese at the time. But yeah, very very
Oh,
fucking
I know who
impressive.
you're talking about. Yeah, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay,
That's a different guy because yeah,
mate.
they look quite
Very
similar. I know
very
he's brother. Yeah,
super impressive.
yeah.
Fair play. Really good winner.
I
Really good
think
winner.
right now
Has he
he's probably
done?
in the running for that pro card, for the pro qualifier if he's doing it.
I'd like to see him in like a WNBF or an MBW.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
Really fucking good. Unbelievable, in
Yeah,
fact. Unbelievable. So fair play to
yeah,
him. Um, so there's a couple more men's physique divisions, right? Um, so it was this one,
yeah,
and obviously
yeah.
he did that
So
one, right?
yeah,
Nice. So
so
some of
yeah.
these shows they're quite small, not small, but they go quick, right? Because um, I don't know. Whenever I've been to the Two Bros to get wrapped up quick, like that's all of the guys, right? And then they take a break, and it would have been the females, right?
hmm It was
Any notable wins in there?
any what?
Did you stay for the women's?
No, because you have to
No.
pay like
Oh, you have to pay again, don't you?
another price to go into the female division to watch. And I was like, yeah, and I had a client home for 7 p.m. as well, so I had to get back to London for that client,
Yeah.
and we didn't have time to wait. But I think the standout for me for the females was the figure winner, who has been also the first time this year. She done two PCA shows, and she's taken overall, and then she's gone to this one and she's taken overall. This is the winners figure. The figure girl is you see keep going up.
Bikini.
Oh no, must be at the bottom then. But yeah, she's another outstanding athlete. Like her structure
All
is
right.
beautiful. There she is.
They're here.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the
no, no, that's yeah, right there in the
this
green
one.
next to no, no, that's it at the end. Yeah, yeah.
Fair play. This one.
Cassie, her name is absolutely ridiculous structure.
Look at the
If you
delts.
go,
It's
you
crazy.
can click on her Instagram, you mate. Honestly, she's got. Look at that size shot.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
Fair play.
very, very impressive.
This girl who was doing wellness, I suppose she try? 'Cause she looks crazy in wellness, absolutely wild. Fair
Yeah,
play to her. But she
yeah,
just try and do figure on the day?
yeah. I think she jumped in figure, just give it a go. I don't know what
Fair
the ins
play.
and outs out of that, but I think they're both also from the same coaching team.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, she looks crazy
so
good in these shots. So
yeah, she's a crazy, crazy. Like her structure for wellness is very, very good.
I think I've seen her compete at some of the other shows. So fair play. Awesome. Well, let me come back to. So yeah, what is the next one? What is the next Natty show now?
So
Because we're
the next
probably
show
going to
now
some of the big boys.
is the Two Bros Pro Qualifier, which is like the which is in a week and a half now, or less than a week and a half now. So it's not this week and the weekend after. It's the next one. And that should be interesting. I believe from the what I've heard from, I'm guessing everyone that was at this show is most likely going to be competing at that show. I had a client obviously doing a classic max in the junior classic, and that's first time doing classic this year. So he jumped in the open class as well, and he placed third in both junior and the open class B for classic. He's waiting for his. I think he's gonna wait for his feedback, see what he says, and then go on from there. He just wants to wanted to get his toes wet and find out moving forward whether he belongs in classic or more bodybuilding. So we're just waiting for
Right.
the class judges feedback, and then we're gonna take from there. But I think he's gonna do PCA Naturals 4,
Yeah.
which is
So
in 3 weeks
we've
time.
got what have we got? We've got the UK DFBA, which is going to be the 22nd of August. I think that's the next one.
So 2nd of
Um,
August. Okay,
and then you've got OCB as well on the same weekend.
yeah,
Um, and then you have got a PCA 4 somewhere. I'm not sure what day that is.
that's on the
Um,
20 at the end of the month, the last weekend of July.
okay, so that one's next. And then you've got UK
Yeah, that's
DFBA OCB. And then you've got
yeah.
UK DFBA again on the 6th and on the 12th. And then,
And there's also a couple of BMBF shows
yeah, yeah,
in August as well. So
yeah. I think, yeah, I've obviously got Dove in the PCA 5 and finals, which is the end of September. And
mhm.
then a week later, the WNBF Supernaturals, which is the beginning of October, and then 2 weeks later, the NBW, so the 16th to 18th. So those are the ones I've got my main eyes on at the moment. But yeah, we're getting into
Should be
the second half of the
good.
season now, aren't we?
Yeah, it's
Where
going we're getting to the nick of it, innit? Like proper deep end of it now. Like
yeah,
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a busy next few months. Um, with shows pretty much every weekend, multiple shows every weekend. So it's gonna be nice. I don't know if I'm gonna attend all of them because
yeah, it's a
I'll
lot,
probably
isn't
be
it?
going back to work soon. I think I'll be going back to work like towards the back end of August.
Okay,
So I'm gonna have every weekend off, but I'll try and be as
yeah,
many shows as I can.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy going to them, but it is a lot. And it thing is, when you spend a whole weekend away, especially for me and you, where we're down this way, like it's the
Hmm.
whole weekend, and then it's like it comes
Yeah,
to the working week, and it's like, oh fuck, like I feel like I didn't have a reset, so I was just trying to manage that as much as possible. I do enjoy being there, supporting people, and seeing the talent, which is crazy, mate. And you seem to be picking up a lot of posing clients, mate. How is it all going at the moment? It seems like you're really making a name for yourself now.
it's going very well. Do you know what it is? Like, it's not even like a case of like I'm purposely like going out there reaching, seeking for
Yeah.
clients. It's which is very nice. It's more so like people seeing my clients on stage and then liking what they see and then getting in touch with me. Hey, blah blah blah. Have you got any space? I love the way this your clients are looking and say. I think that was also one of the most humbling thing to see to get when I get back home from shows and people message me saying like, "Oh, we love what we saw and we'd love to work with you." I think it's very rewarding in that sense because it's nice for people to know that effort we put in it and they can see the
Yeah,
difference on stage.
yeah,
So all credit to my clients for just going out there and representing the brand very well. Huge thank
yeah.
you to you guys.
I think it's nice that it grows like organically because
Mhm.
like it's just you if you do the work, the work talks for itself. Like, and when it's like that, it's nice. So it's not like you're trying to poach people for it. It's just you turn up at the shows, you help people, people like that. They see people's clients, and obviously, at the end of the day, people want to posing such a big part of it, and it like
Yeah,
it's literally like one of the biggest parts of it. You do all this work, don't fail on just not displaying it. Like there's always improvements to be made, but especially like if you need a lot of work on posing, like just don't just help. Like I'm not
lose
sure if this
the
was on the last podcast or not because I know we had an issue with it, but Patrick has started helping me. And even in a few small sessions, there's been a significant difference, and I've said to multiple people, like, there's always levels to everything. Like, there's professionals in their own thing for a reason. Like one way I can describe it is, people think, they know how to train and this and that. And then when you actually genuinely train with someone who knows anatomy and this and that, and they know the angle your elbow should be going in compared to your torso, etc. And you really feel a movement for what it is. It's like there's levels to that with everything. It's like like hairdressing. It's not just cutting hair. There's like so many levels to it, you know. And you might think you're like okay at something, but there's always more to learn. And I'm definitely enjoying, you know, the bits that we've learned so far, and definitely got a lot to come. But anyone that is interested in bodybuilding, this is a plug for Patrick. Don't wait until you prep. Don't wait
Yes,
until you're
please.
nearly competing. Do it in the off season. Do it all year round, like because then it's just going to be natural for when you come to stage. You know.
Yeah, the last thing you want to be doing is like messaging that posing coach, hey, I'm like 4 weeks out. I need help. I'm
Yeah,
bro, what? It's not
mate.
fun. It's actually a lot of work.
I,
A lot of work.
I could hit poses like okay, but there was some that I was just so inconsistent with. And I
Hmm.
remember it was like 6, 7 weeks out, and I started to just feel fatigued as fuck. And I was just like, the trying to learn a new skill at that point is so much harder. So just do yourself a favor and just learn it like when you got some brain power.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%. It's not only that as well. It's also like the fitness of posing, like
Yeah,
doing rounds and rounds and rounds. Because yeah, you might survive your class, but if you were to make it overall and you haven't got the fitness to last, you will burn out so
yeah,
quickly, and that can shift you from being center to all the way far out. Because overall, they have to obviously keep an eye to make sure they reward the right person. So
yeah,
yeah, don't leave it last minute. Don't leave it like my advice always be minimum start work like obviously working your posing during off season. It doesn't have to be like
yeah.
as intensive, but when you're on
No,
prep, like from
yeah,
15 weeks out, you need to start working with posing. Just
yeah,
giving us
100%. Yeah, like practice your posing all year round. Obviously, do like some rounds so you maintain some level of fitness, but it is something that is like adaptive, right? Like
yeah,
cardio. So as soon as you know prep's coming, or
yeah,
you're that's when you should start turning it up and almost have a linear progression on how long you're doing the rounds for, because you will, you know, adapt to it like your cardio. You know, like when you first start doing cardio, your heart rate will be at like 160 with lower effort, and then you know 5 weeks later it will be hard to even get your heart rate to 140.
yeah,
You do
yeah.
adapt, but yeah, dive into that a little bit more, mate. Like, what take me through. You know, if I was if I was 20 weeks out right now,
Mhm.
what would you be telling me to aim for, like round wise, and how would you progress that? In what ways?
Yeah, so what I will suggest if you're like, let's say it's from 20 weeks out, um, your first initial stage is like the first 5 weeks of prep. You should be doing at least a couple of rounds post workout. Um, you do, I'll say, start working from, if you're starting from fresh, like you've never done, like this is what I always advise clients to do 3 second holds on every pose.
Yeah,
Give yourself 3 seconds to transition from shot to shot. That's what I always do. I always kind of go, right, we start off 3 second hold. You're gonna have 3 seconds to transition to the next shot. So you know that you get into the next shot, you're not fapping about, you're not wasting any time because you want to be the first one in every shot and last one in every shot. That's what I always say.
mm,
So you always give yourself 3 seconds to transition from shot to shot, building up just 3 second holds, and then maybe like do one round of 3 second hold and then another round of like 5 second holds. That's good enough to start off with within the first five
yeah,
weeks. Then from 15 weeks out to 10 weeks out, you should be pushing for three rounds at least. And that's when you start adding the timer. So if you're building on fitness, what I would then do is, okay, cool, we've done 3 seconds holds, we've done 5 seconds holds, now we're going to 7 second holds for every single pose.
yeah,
So with the same intensity of like 3 seconds to try hit the shot. Um, then what I tend to do for my clients is like I put a timer in between each rest period, each round. So from round one to round two is 30 seconds break. And as soon as 30 seconds timer up, we start the second round of the posing. Then from round two to round three, I'm giving away my secrets now, guys. Um, from round two to round three will be 20 seconds wait period. So every time you're doing more rounds, you're getting less rest period in between. So this is a way to build on your fitness. Um, and then you do like, so let's say you're doing like 3 seconds, then 5 seconds, then 7 seconds. So between 5 and 7 seconds, it will be like only 20 seconds rest period. Then do that. And then as you go from week 10 towards like week four, with 4 weeks out, you should be doing at least building up to like holding every shot for at least 10 seconds.
yeah,
Okay. Um, if you want to be excessive like me, sometimes I'll go up to 15 second holds just to, especially depending on what show you're going to. If you're going to Wales, if you're aiming to compete
Yeah.
WNBF balls or doing any WNBF pro qualifiers, you know they're gonna make you do long holds on like posing for a long time. So build that stamina up so that when you get to that stage, it's easier. So yeah,
Yeah.
from week 10 to week 4 weeks out is where you should aiming for like the high ends of like holds, like 10 seconds, sometimes 15 seconds if you can build up to that stamina. And again, just give the time frame 30 seconds, 20 seconds. And even if you're getting better at it, you can even do like 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest in between each round just to kind of get your fitness up. It's not fun, but again, it's going to help you very vastly over the time. Um, in terms of your routine, you would and posing rounds anyway. But I feel like by week 4 weeks out, you should know that should be nailed down. That should be like go to the point where like you know every single shot without using the mirror. Um,
Yeah.
that's one thing that a lot of people always seem to forget about. Like they post in front of a mirror all the time. So when they get on stage and there's no mirror there for them to use, they're like, shit, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Um, one tip we always do is we will pose in front of the mirror, and then towards the end of the session, we would then move the mirror and we'll get you to pose so you can feel the pose and hold the poses. So that can, when you're on stage and you know that something's not right, you will know straight away, actually, that's not how
Yeah.
that was supposed to feel
Like
like.
muscle memory, isn't it?
Muscle memory, yeah. So you should be able to like practice that with our mirrors. And also, not only that, a lot of times when people pose in front of mirrors, they tend to pose straight on, forgetting that the judges are looking at them from like a down angle. So if you are posing in front of a mirror, do not pose directly into the mirror. Set up a camera or set up like a tripod, like at the bottom of the mirror, and aim to pose towards that because that's what the judges are going to see.
Yeah.
Okay. That posing at that angle and posing straight in front of the mirror is two different views.
Yeah.
Okay. Or if you're
100%.
posting upright like that and you're the judge up in front of the judge, you're supposed to post like this. If they're looking at you like that, they're not going to see your entire top line. The further your top line's away from the judges, is the smaller your top line is going to look. So you should always be posing at that angle towards where the judges can see you properly. Okay. Um, yeah, that's what I'll say. That with there's lots of tricks that we use, tools that we use, especially when it comes to which I've discovered like recently because Roy, he had a lot of issues with like switching his legs on, and I've discovered
How
a
do you
new
get on
tool.
with that?
It's getting better. It's getting better. I've got him again this weekend. However, I keeps on doing some silly mistakes when I check-ins, and I keep on pulling up on it. Um, I'm very OCD when it comes to posing and stuff like that, in terms of like lines and visuals. And
Yeah.
one thing that people take for granted, and this is, I'm giving this out, telling everyone to look out for this, and you're gonna notice a lot of people when they
Mm.
pose, especially the side shots, they always bend their wrist because they're trying to
Yeah. I
like
mean,
pull it.
this is something that I've watched a video like a couple of times back, the feedback you're giving me, and I'm like, I'm trying to remember it, but it's so natural for me to, like in that front relaxed. I'm like,
Yeah,
do it, and then watch it back, and I'm like, hold on, how the fuck do I do this? Like, it feels fucking.
yeah,
I feel like I need to almost go the other way to keep them straight. Does
yeah,
that make sense?
yeah. It's
Oh,
very like often to look out for. But like I said, like bodybuilding is about symmetry and just creating good, like perfect lines, which for the video just see anyone that see beautiful lines, they're always gonna be drawn to it.
yeah,
So if you've got your wrist bent in your shots, all that's gonna do is just gonna take away from the lines, and they're not gonna look at that. So always try to aim for your knuckles to your elbows should always be perfect straight lines. No matter what angle you're facing, either doing side on or front shot, just aim to create that perfect line from elbow to knuckle to your
hmm,
knuckles. Um, that even though it's such a small thing, it can make a
yeah.
huge difference. So please, people, watch out for that.
Do you know
Also,
the other
yeah,
one, Patrick, that obviously you bring up with me every time? Like, I'm just talking for my experience. Like, it's so fucking hard to get my head round, and I'm like trying is spiking the calf. Like, it just feels like it throws the whole shot off because I'm just not used to it. Like, I feel off
yes,
balance, So
yeah.
go into that one a little bit.
So what Chris is referring to is when it comes to doing the rear shot, the rear door bicep and the rear lat spread for bodybuilders.
Even like the side chest one, sorry, and side
Yes, and the
tricep.
side chest as
Like
well. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So when you're looking at a physique, right, you're looking at the entire physique. A lot of times when people do side chest, for example, their main focus is, hey Donald, we got naked
no,
Donald with us today, guys.
no, giving us a nip slip. Uh, there's no
relent from this heat at home. I've been sat in a air conditioned gym all day, so then you get home and it's just like right, shirts off, everything's off. I'm just hot.
I don't blame you,
Don't
man.
blame
It's
you.
very humid today.
I'm
Very
literally
humid.
sweating just sitting there.
Yeah. I have to turn my fan off because it's making too much noise in the
Yeah,
background.
I've
So
turned mine off just in case as well. And I'm like,
yeah, it must go on
right,
soon.
carry on.
But yeah, as we were talking about, we were just talking about body like posing. When you're doing the side shots, a lot of time people focus mainly on the like the side, for example, the side chest. Because it's called a side chest, people tend to think, oh, I've got to focus on the upper body. Get man, like, yes, focus on that all the time. But remember, the judges are looking at the entire physique. So one thing I really, really focus on is learning to spike your toes, as spike your calves. That's what we're talking about. So driving through the balls of your feet with the front leg is going to help you activate your calves a lot more, and it's going to bring out more details in the lower half. If you can sit on it a lot more, it takes the pressure off. Because a lot of time when people do their side chest, they they somehow engage the hamstrings and they pull the hamstrings in, thinking that's going to help. But all that is doing is just making it's taking away the hamstring drop, and it's making your side leg look smaller than it's supposed to do. The idea of a side chest, especially from the lower half, is you want to keep the glute details in, keep the hamstrings relaxed as possible, and then spike the calves. So pushing through the balls of your feet and make sure you're hyper extending your toes. Like imagine like you're trying to stand like how a ballerina will stand in like a in their shoes. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want to be pushing. That's what you want to be doing. That's really going to help you create a perfect shape with your calves from the side on. You've got small ankles, especially that's going to give you more structure to the calves, which is then gonna like eventually like build up into the whole illusion of like calves here, legs round, then upper body. So it's like almost like a bubble, like big bubble sitting in this mini bubble, then a smaller bubble. So that's the kind of look you want to create with the side shot. So yeah, don't spend your entire time trying to fix the top half and neglect the bottom half, because the bottom half is also part of the shot.
I think for a lot of
And
people, like learning to engage your glute without engaging your hamstring, like that's the
Yeah,
bit that takes the skill and the practice. So it's one of those by default when you try and squeeze through your glute, you're instinctively going to engage the hamstring. So what
yeah,
I always advise people to do is to learn to squeeze the glute, like only get into the shot, ignore what's happening at your upper body. Now in
yeah,
the mirror, like, squeeze your glute and then try to relax your hamstring at the same time, and it's going to feel really, really weird. But once you get it, you just got to keep repeating it so that you can then kind of get, just like anything, that mind muscle connection of, right, when I'm into the side shot, it should feel like this. And then my glute switched on, but my hamstring's not. Because, like you said, if you're engaging that hamstring, it pulls up rather than having that nice, like, sweep on the underneath.
yeah. One cue that I use for clients when I see that is I always tell them to imagine you're squeezing a piece of paper between your butt cheeks. Okay, so try and hold a piece of paper between your butt cheek, or like a penny between your butt cheek. That will help engage your
that's going to
glutes.
be the YouTube title: squeeze paper in your butt cheeks.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Squeeze the paper between your butt cheeks, and then that will help you really learn to isolate activating
I'm
your
gonna give that a
glutes
go.
strings.
Pretend there's a piece of paper between my butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
So you're gonna see the
it will.
best side chest you've ever seen from me, Patrick.
You what?
You're gonna see the best side chest you've ever seen from
Oh,
me
I
soon.
can't wait, mate. I'm gonna get you to do a glue spread next, mate. Don't worry.
Then I
Um,
will be pretending there's a piece of paper between my butt cheeks.
oh God.
What
So
would you
yeah,
say?
that's pretty much
Sorry,
it
go
for the side shot. When it comes to the rear shots, again, really, really push through the toes. Don't neglect your hands, your calves, because some judges will say red or bicep displaying your calves and your hamstrings. Some judges will not say it, but others will do. I know UKDAB always says that when they're judging. The BNBF, I've said it a couple of times, but it's not very consistent. But I know some judges say it. So yeah, do not neglect that part, because it's also part of the whole creating the bubbles look in that aspect. So yeah, use it effectively. This is the advice we've given you, and yeah, build up on it. And if you have any questions at all, my DMs are always open, always open.
In your experience, Patrick, I'm intrigued. What takes the longest for someone to learn to hit fairly good?
Okay.
What pose?
Do you know what? It's actually I think for someone that's never done bodybuilding before, I
Front
think they
relaxed.
always struggle with like the lat spread, which is very
Yeah.
weird because we think that's quite easy to hit.
It's
But
hard. People struggle to engage the
yeah,
lats, don't they?
a
I
lot of
like
people
this.
don't
I
know.
like sitting there like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you always see that. They
What do
engage
you
your
reckon of
trap,
this back?
they pull up
How's
to
this
the
front
trap and they're like
relaxed?
this. Yeah. I even had to have like a oh that's beautiful, bro.
You
Center,
can
move into
tell we've been
center right
working on
now.
it.
Yeah, it's definitely, bro, I'm sweating.
Mate, I am as
Um,
well. We'll wrap this up. We'll wrap this up soon. I think we've done the overview and we've talked a little bit. And 'cause my legs getting stuck to the chair. But sorry, carry on, Patrick.
yeah, but yeah, lat spread is one that a lot of people tend to struggle with because they initially straight away they engage their traps, which takes away from the actual lats. If you're squeezing your traps, you can't relax it. You can't fully open your lats. So cues are always keep your traps relaxed. Just flare the lats and let your arms rest on it rather than trying to like lift your arms all the way up here. You're not driving a freaking motorbike.
I've seen a few
So
shows recently where you can see the guys and literally their arms like all the way up here, traps around.
oh yeah,
Mate, you're in like second and third place. Like, what is going on with that lat spread?
lats like and also I think one thing that I find very useful is when you do a lat spread or like even a front relax, for example. Did we lose him?
Don't know. He's done something. It,
Oh no.
hopefully, it was
He'll come back. Yeah, there he is. He's back. Is one thing I always try to use is try and focus on like creating lines with your forearm. So wherever your lat is sitting, you want if you can create an illusion of your forearm being parallel to where your lats are sitting, it will emphasize the whole look and it's gonna bring out your lats even better. That's one thing I notice a lot of people don't pay attention to. So they're here and even their hands are down, their arms are all the way out there and they've created that whole gap there between the side body, which is gonna take away from the show. Whereas if you bring your arms in and make your forearm parallel to your lat, straight away it's gonna close the gaps up, it's gonna make your lats look even bit bigger. And because the lines are emphasizing your lats already, it's gonna give you the perfect X frame. So yeah, that's one tool we also use as well with the Point Society. So yeah, take it and run with it, guys.
Donald, I've got one question for you before we go. So, when you obviously now that you're training to be a judge, I already know the answer to some degree, but I want to expand on it a bit. Obviously, when you're on the diagonal lines at the back, right,
yep.
you're still being judged to some degree. Like you should still be in some kind of pose. What would your advice in that be? Would it be to hold a full-on front relaxed, or to hold a shot that looks, still pretty appealing, but a little bit of a softer shot? Like what would you guys say on that?
For me personally, it's just about being presentable, not
I
necessarily
agree.
being in like a front relaxed, like just
I
something
agree.
that you can hold. Like if I if I'm really close on my decision between two people and
Yeah.
still trying to figure out kind of what positions that I will kind of like want them in, it's one of those. If I then look on that line and one of them's
Yeah.
on and one of them's not,
Yeah.
and it was extremely close
Yeah.
between the two, and it could go kind of like either way, that could be the thing that's gone. I've just looked up, you're paying attention and you're not. Okay, you've now got second and you've got
Yeah.
third, or you've got fourth and you've got fifth, or whatever it is. Is it going to be like direly important? Like if you're leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else, probably not. But it's also it's about like professionalism, isn't it? Like ultimately, if you're wanting to be a pro, you need to be professional the whole time. You're on stage. What we were on stage at Worlds for 25 minutes. Like if you can't
Yeah,
hold your poses for 5 minutes. Obviously, I understand like sometimes on the side you might not be hitting like a full on front relaxed or a like squeezing everything, making sure you've got detail through your legs and everything, but I shouldn't be looking to the side, your stomach's out, your arms are down, and like you're chatting to kind of like the person to the side of you. It's like you're still on stage. You might be called back into the middle if it's kind of like a close decision. So to answer your question, does it necessarily need to be a front relax? No, but it needs to be a presentable shot. That if I just look up from the table because I'm still making a decision because it was really, really close, that you look like you want to be there, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think also I always tell my guys to always pick, well, not just the guys, the girls and guys I work with, to always pick two shots, which is always like the front relax shot and the class, especially if you're doing bodybuilding or classic, do the classic most muscular shot. You cannot go wrong with those
Yep.
because all your has to be switched on with the class and your those to be switched on, and you can just hold a shot like that without losing any details.
Yeah.
So from relax or classic most muscular is the best one. And if you're female, just front power pose, that or your normal from relax pose, switch between the two, and that is always the best way to hold yourself without losing any details.
You know what? I'm really glad you guys said that because it's something I've never asked. And I felt like it was a bit of a like not unwritten rule, but more something I thought about and I've seen from other people. So you know, occasionally I would hold that front relax, but when I was on a diagonal line, I would hold either a shot when I was doing classic, which was like quite aesthetic, like where I almost tilted my hips off to the side a little bit, rather than like a full strut. Do you know when you're kind of like
Yeah,
I either did that or I'd have my hands on my like waist with everything quite flexed, but
yeah,
that was stuff I could hold like easily,
yeah,
and I knew it still looked good, if that made sense.
So
And I
yeah,
didn't know whether that was essentially the perfect thing, but I remember judges multiple times pointing at me when I did that. So they were obviously like still discussing things to a degree, and I
yeah.
was like, I hope they're not saying what's that cunt doing, but
no, but it's a really good point that you make there, Chris. Like that, you notice judges talking between themselves
yeah,
and pointing because sometimes, again, if decisions are tight, judges will speak to each other,
mm,
and you
yeah,
then look up and see, well, this guy, he's switched on the back. He
yeah,
doesn't have to be, and the other guy's just not. Then it makes it
DK,
really easy.
yeah,
It makes it a really easy decision because it's like the
mm,
points between you when you were kind of like up there are so fine, and it's again, it's bodybuilding, it's personal preference.
yeah,
But if you're showing a level of professionalism that the other person isn't, then as a judge, my opinion is going to be, well, he's obviously more prepared because he's done his homework and he knows that when you're on stage, you're being judged from the moment you walk out to the moment you go behind that curtain. So yeah,
yeah. I've got a very good example for that as well because um, it happened in when I was in Singapore, and ever since that, I always do the same thing. So I remember staying on the sideline waiting, and I just had my legs, like I said, like in the classic muscular pose, but I had my legs switched on and then holding it. And I saw the judges looking over and just kind of going
yeah,
like that. And I heard them say, yeah, but look at his legs. Because
yeah.
it wasn't because my legs were bigger than the guy next to me. It
They're
was just
just
because my
on
legs were just switched on. So it drew them straight
100%.
to it and it made them finalize the decision. So don't give them any chance at all to take out, like to lose your spot. Just hold on to it.
And have you guys also noticed that sometimes on that diagonal line, you
Hmm.
actually have the most freaky night lighting? So if you're
Yes.
like on it, you can look like a freak,
Yeah.
and like
$100%.
you can take advantage of it, can't you? Like so
Yeah.
sometimes people are back there, and I'm like, mate, they look amazing, and then they come to the front line, and you're like, oh, actually, they're not quite as
it's
sharp.
probably
But
Yeah.
because obviously on that front line the lighting's brighter because
yeah,
that's what you're kind of like focused on, and then off to the sides, as you
yeah,
said, it's not.
get more shadows,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, but take advantage of it, right?
yeah. At
Yeah.
the end
Definitely.
of the day, if you can do anything that is going to give you, even if it's just a chance, like why wouldn't you take it? Like as I said, you can only control what you can do, and if on the day you tick every single box that you can, regardless of the result, you can walk away from that with your head held high. Whereas if you walk away and go, oh, you know what, on the side, like I know I can tell it was tempting, and I just wasn't concentrating when I was on the side. Could that have? And that's going to play in your mind.
Yeah.
And not only that, so just kind of like that whole, like, I'll take the moment you step on stage to the moment you come off stage, that you should be locked in from that get-go. Because even that walking onto your position, they're still looking at you. You want to keep the eyes on you from the get-go. So Max did a freaking great example of that this weekend, where like the moment he walked on stage, you could tell like he was we've nailed every single part of the whole process. That I didn't have to say nothing to like correct him. He just was on every single time, and the judges were able to like see that, and people in the crowd were able to see that, because a lot of people are pointing him saying, "Look, he's not shaking one bit. Everyone else is shaking. Everyone's doing this. Everyone's doing that. He's just look. He looks so polished." And that all of that little details matter very much. So don't take it for granted, guys. You have to really, really lock in.
There we go. All the secrets are out from Patrick. So, you know,
Yeah,
all
I
that
just
value coming through.
exposed most of my tricks. I'm not going to expose the rest anymore. You have to pay for the rest of it now.
Yeah. Right, boys. Thank you again, Donald. Last question: How was your daughter's like birthday?
Birthday.
It's very well. Any of you guys that are out there that have daughters around the age of like 8 to 10, you realize it's like having a teenager like trapped in an 8-year old's body. So it's like having a bipolar like child, because it just goes 0 to like 1,000 in the space of like 2 seconds, because essentially your hormones are all over the place. But yeah, she had a lovely day. I could let me touch. So she got a gymnastics set, which is
Nice.
going to be causing for the next.
Bro, you send your reel before of like some dad doing gymnastics with their daughter. You're gonna have to do that now. You're gonna have to do that.
But that's just it. It's I love that she's like active, and I saw something the other day, and like if both parents are active, kids are like 90% more likely to be active themselves, and both. So obviously I'm active, and my wife trains as well, and so she
Yeah.
is such an active child. Like if she could, she'd fucking cartwheel everywhere. Like you can't keep her still. She's always on the go. Like if I don't, we're on a weekend and we don't go out and spend some time outside, she's like a little fucking energizer bunny and bouncing off the wall. So yeah, it was a really really lovely day. She's got loads of stuff, and then I think my sister's coming down this weekend, so I'm gonna take her to Clubber Park or something. So yeah, it's good fun.
Beautiful, mate. Glad to hear. Right, let's wrap it up, boys. Thank you again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you made it this far, please like, comment, especially subscribe. And if there's anything you want to know, let us know. If not, see you on the next one. Cheers, lads.
Amazing guys.
Take care, guys. Bye.